All right, here with Byron Reed, winner tonight here at Attica Raceway Park. Byron, we'll get into the feelings of this here in a little bit, but man, let's talk about that race for a second. Started on pole, led all 30 laps, but it looked like it was a little difficult.
So kind of stepping back, it's been a kind of an emotional day for me. I felt normal all week, but then once the day hit, I noticed emotions were getting to me. And in my heat race, by the end of the race, I was like, couldn't catch my breath. My arms felt like they were wore out. I just think I was just so worked up about the moment that it was almost like being too much for me. But for whatever reason, in the A-main, I just had a calm come over me, and maybe it looked difficult, but it felt very comfortable in the car, and it was good. I always feel kind of weird, even though a lot of races are won from the pole, but I always feel a little bit weird winning a race from the pole. But I feel like this was still a good win because I did lap a lot of good cars, and I felt like I was attacking them. I wasn't, because I knew, you never know when you got a guy like Cap Henry or some of those other guys behind you. You know, one slip up and they're going to get you. So I just went and kind of attacked the lap cars just like I was racing for position, and it worked out.
You made some pretty big moves there in lap traffic. So how difficult was that lap traffic there?
It wasn't too bad because my car was really good. I was good in the middle, and I was good exiting on the top, but then if I needed to drive to the bottom, it seemed like it stuck there pretty well too. It was a little weird. A few guys were side by side, which made it a little tricky on which way to go with them. But I don't know. I just had a mindset that I wasn't gonna follow. I was gonna just pass. I wasn't gonna follow them into the corner. I was gonna make a move to pass them, just because I know that I've watched too many races here and got beat too many times, being too complacent. So I just wanted to attack the whole race.
Now, obviously, your final start here at Attica, kind of going out on top. You've had a few minutes here to kind of let that sink in. How are you feeling right now about that?
I'm feeling really good about it. This is it was somewhat, if I could have planned it out, this obviously winning the last time here was great, but just the fact that I still feel like I'm very competitive. I know I'm not as good as I used to be, but I still obviously can get the job done when things are right. And that's kind of the way I wanted to do it. I wanted to go out. One of the guys I used to race with, Frankie Kerr, he won his last race, and I still have 4 more races. Hopefully I'll win them. But just kind of going out, I guess you'd say, on top really makes me feel good. And I didn't want to be hanging on where people are like, well, that guy used to be good, but now he sucks.
Right.
So I didn't want to be that guy.
Right. Does it make the decision easier the decision to retire easier now that you got that win this year?
I don't know if it factors one way or the other. All I know is I really wanted it for my team, my Kurt, Kevin, Kent, and for sure my mom, because we've all been trying pretty hard and we've been fast this year. I knew if we got everything right that we could do it, and it was very gratifying to do it for those guys because we all wanted it really bad.
When you look at the top 4 starters of this race, it was you. There's a Kemenal in there, and there's a Keegan in there, but there's the younger Keegan, younger Kemenal.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I'm getting used to that. Like I said in the little thing they did for me, I'm racing against the kids of guys I used to race against. I'm getting close to being running against the grandkids of guys I used to race against, and that's just I didn't want to do that. So yeah, it is weird to be racing against those type of guys, but I've been doing this a long time, and like when Mark Keegan left, everything, oh my God, it'll never be the same. Well, guess what? There's always a new guy coming up, and those are some of the new guys coming up that'll probably be doing this for another 25, 30 years, and I don't know. It's just part of the racing life.
Right. Back in April, I think it was April when you were on the podcast, I think I asked a question along the lines of, what would be a moment that, when it's the last race, you're kind of sitting in the trailer, what would be that moment? Will that rank up there now?
This definitely would rank up there, yeah. I mean, you can't script it much better. The only thing I wish I could have done is done my wheelie after the checkered, but the red flag come out and I didn't get a chance to do my wheelie. So I got to win one at Fremont to do my wheelie.
So I don't know. Any final thoughts, Byron?
No, not really. Just kind of what I said. I love Attica. I love the people, and I love racing. It's part of my life. It's been 34 years of my life. It'll always be a part of my life. But I just feel this is a good way to go, and I'm happy with how everything's gone for me.